Hey, Happy New Year. Did you hear the news? I am officially a certified tea sommelier. Just in January of this year, I made a random trip to Toronto to take some tea classes. 10 months later, I took a tea exam and came out with a certificate saying that I am an expert in all things tea. Now that we've officially entered 2024, and January just so happens to be National Hot Tea Month, I think it's an opportune time to reflect on all the things that I've learned in my tea journey thus far. Hey uppity people, this is Heather. Yes, I'm still a student in the art of tea, but I'm also a certified tea sommelier. As I carry on in my tea journey, my mission is to spread information and inspiration, one cup of tea at a time. It's not always easy to admit when you're wrong, but I'm going to start 2024 by doing so. In my tea sommelier classes, we gained experience in premium loose leaf teas. We didn't even touch tea bags until way further down the road because they are mass produced and utilize the small dust-like pieces, also known as the low-grade fannings of the tea leaves. And so I told people to step up their tea games and ditch the tea bags. But as I later learned, this was wrong. Yes, you have your regular schmegular tea bags, but there's also other types, such as the silk pyramid sachets, which are actually meant to hold loose leaf tea as well. There's also the disposable tea filters or tea sacks, which are large enough to hold loose leaf teas, which allows them to expand as they're infusing. All in all, I've got to stand on truth and admit that I have some tea bags in my cupboard that I enjoy. Tea bags provide comfort and accessibility for so many. And to me, that's one of the true purposes of tea. My tea bag saga brings me to my second reflection, which is that internalized bias can sneak up on you. Yes, even in the context of tea. Many tea connoisseurs are convinced that you cannot get a good cup of tea from something that's been flavored. In my heart of hearts, I do agree with this, but that's only because I've been exposed to the good stuff. For me, good tea is made by a skilled artisan to bring out the best flavor. It has been grown, harvested, and crafted on a farm to bring out the most beautiful expression of a leaf. However, I acknowledge that not everyone has to chase the finest single origin tea leaves to appreciate tea. If you like jelly donut tea or a peaches and cream oolong or maybe a maple syrup flavored tea, cool. It's about what you like. If you like it, I love it. In the same vein of thought as anything being possible, tea leaf reading. Okay, stick with me just for 1 second. Technically, I have not mastered the ancient art of reading fortunes through the tea leaves, but I did learn that such a thing exists, and it's called tasseography. Do I believe in it? Meh, but I did buy the set of 100 tea leaf reading cards just out of curiosity. Reflection 4. You may have seen a Chinese gaiwan before, or other tiny teacups like my favorite little travel set here. Many cultures cherish these little tiny teacups for many reasons. They're not as wasteful. They provide better temperature control, allowing the tea to cool more quickly. And they prevent you from brewing large batches of nasty, bitter tasting stewed tea. Paying attention to the size of your cup is important, but size ain't everything. In a 1946 essay called A Nice Cup of Tea, renowned author George Orwell also touts the benefits of making tea in small batches. But he also talks about how the thing you drink tea from can make it taste different. I love this peacock designed tea set, for example, because peacocks are actually one of my favorite animals. When I was studying abroad in India as a college student, there was a throng of peacocks that used to visit a garden that was right next door to my host family's house. This was the same house where I used to have masala chai 11 times a day and really did hone a love for tea. So there really is a great sense of nostalgia that I get when drinking from this type of teacup. I don't know if you've heard, but the state of the tea market is not at its prime right now. In fact, a July 2022 report from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations noted that, quote, over the past decade, tea prices expressed in real terms have been declining steadily, creating a challenging economic environment for smallholder producers. Now, the question is, how do we fix the issue? The low cost of tea is very much due to an oversupply of that mass-produced industrial tea. It's one of the reasons that I go so hard for high-quality, handcrafted tea, because it's worth about 12 times more than the commodity price of industrial tea. And if you're a conscious consumer, you can oftentimes find retailers who source their tea directly from smallholder farmers. Another terrible aspect about low tea prices is that they are also one of the biggest root causes of the never-ending human rights issues in the tea sector. Poor living and working conditions, sexual abuse and harassment, and so many other travesties are part of the unfortunate reality for many tea workers and farmers. This is despite the fact that there is a multitude of human rights standards, conventions, laws, and policies that are designed to prevent these types of abuses. It's something that I've talked about before in my videos and something that I will continue to keep an eye on and talk about moving forward. I always knew the history of tea was inextricably linked with the history of the world. But man, the more I learn, the more I see just how much. It includes one of the greatest acts of corporate espionage, when this dude named Robert Frost literally went to China and stole some tea leaves, some tea seeds, and most importantly, tea knowledge and workers, and brought it back to Britain. Once the British Empire and its thuggish East India Company got its hold on tea, it quickly made it into a monopoly and slowly but surely dispersed it throughout all of its colonies, which is why to this day, places like India, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Malawi remain some of the biggest tea producing regions in the world. And don't get me started on talking about the Opium Wars, which should probably have been called the Tea Wars, because this event actually shaped, in my opinion, China's modern day resentment towards Western powers. It's wild. As I begin to wrap up this list of reflections, it's hard not to think about how in less than a year, I have turned an interest of tea into a passion. And it's hard not to put expectations on myself to answer the big, what's next? I mean, maybe I should become a tea retailer, start going to more tea conferences, visiting more tea gardens in far off places, making tea my life. But ultimately, the answer is, I don't know. And that's all right. I'm going to sit in the ambiguity, sip my tea, and just see how my path unfolds. Well, we've made it to number 10. If you've listened this far, you deserve a reward. So I'm going to share with you a quote that is very popular amongst us tea drinkers because it really does encapsulate the essence of mindfulness. Drink your tea slowly, reverently, as if it is the axis on which the world Earth revolves. Slowly, evenly, without rushing toward the future. Beautiful. If you found these tea reflections to be interesting, useful, or just a bunch of rubbish, as the OG tea imperialists would say, let me know in the comments. And feel free to like this video and share it with others. Well, uppity people, let us dust ourselves off from all the challenges brought by 2023. And as we head into 2024, let us enter with gratitude that we are still here in this very moment with a good cup of tea. Bye now.